Brings us to
number 23.
Never before in all the years of doing the most intriguing, Brock, at least to my memory. Of course, my memory is not very good, so that doesn't mean a whole lot. Have we ever had two people have the same number? But that's where we're at this year with Jerome Baker and Tyrel Dodson, because I've yet to understand the difference between the two. Eventually, we'll see them out on the field, and I'll start to learn which one is Baker and which one is Dodson. So far, they're the two new linebackers who I don't know a whole lot about, who can both run, who can both play the middle of the field, who are a little smaller than the guys we've seen in that role in the past, and are both hurt. Tell me how I'm going to ultimately learn the difference between Baker and Dodson.
Well, one is bigger. Baker is bigger. Baker's like 6'2", 230, and if there was a linebacker mannequin at Nordstrom's, he would be the body type. I mean, he is just jacked. Dodson is a little more sawed off, a little bit smaller. So you will, once they do eventually hit the field, you will see just physically, not that Baker looks anything like Bobby, because there's not many that look like Bobby, but he's bigger of the two, and he has been the thumper. Like that is why they added him to this roster. He's a guy that here's his, we talk a lot about the back of the baseball card, back of the football card, and he missed 4 games last year, did Baker. That was the only time he's not had 100 tackles is when he's missed a game or two. So, played all 16 in 2019. Salk had 126 tackles. All 16 the following year, 112 tackles. All 16 16 of the 17, 92, all 17, 100. Last year, just 13, 79. So the dude that's why I call him the tackle maker. Baker the tackle maker. That's what he does. So he brings the thump. Dodson was a special teamer. And in Buffalo's system, not too dissimilar to this one, you've got to have linebackers that can really, really run and cover a lot of space. And he was a backup to guys that could do that. They got hurt last year. He got to play. And the next level dudes, the football savant guys, loved what they saw. One of the highest grades of any linebacker. And when it came to coverage linebackers, the highest grade. So how
often does that happen? That special teamers come in a few years into their career and become really good long-term productive players?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, that's usually the only path for kind of late round undrafted guys. Like, you got to cut your teeth there.
I know you got to cut your teeth there. I'm not saying a year of it. As you said, it's
3
been
years of it?
3 years of it. And then finally injury paves the way in your 4th season? How often does that happen?
Yeah, I don't think that often. And it's why the market value was the market value, right? Why is a 1-year deal with not a lot of money? Like, go prove it. Go prove it. Because, that body type, can you sustain? We talk about running backs all the time. We should talk about linebackers too, because those are the ones in the collisions. Can that body type sustain 17 games, season in, season out, season in, season out? You usually look at the linebackers that do that, Salk, and you know what they are? Pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big physical dudes. Not all of them. You can be a little undersized, and if you are, you better run like the wind. These guys, especially Dodson, can run. Tyrese, who was the first one, number 25, he can run. So it is going to be a priority. One thing about that, another thing, Salk, that you would really like, again, about that Hard Knocks Giants, is they brought in a new coordinator, a defensive coordinator. And you could see him with all the scouts, all the personnel guys, everybody, all the management. He came in and he had to do like a 3-hour meeting of what he wants. This is what I need in this system. Mm-hmm. It's what the Seahawks did in January and February and March with all of their people. And the communication, from what I've understood, was off the charts with the level of detail that Mike McDonald and Dirty and these guys are looking for by position. They wanted guys that could really run, and in Dodson, he found it, and Baker, when healthy, is proven pretty adept as well.
All right, so there you go. It's a little shorter one today because we just don't know a lot about these guys yet, but Baker and Dodson tied for the number 23 most intriguing Seahawk until one of them distinguishes themselves from the other.